Hello everyone, this is Sahil Garg from batch D2S401, and today I'm going to present before you my capstone project for the module 6, that is the ML, machine learning. So in this I have just taken the Zomato restaurant review sentiment and analysis project. Here is the GitHub link of my project. So in the following project we are going to analyze the data that has been extracted by the Zomato for the from the food industry. For example, Zomato keeps taking the order from certain restaurants, gets feedback from the customers, and upon those feedbacks and all the things, Zomato makes believe that which restaurant is good, which is doing better business in a particular area, and provide useful insights to the restaurant owners and business owners. So in this project, we will utilize the various data processing techniques, visualization tools, and ML algorithms to uncover the trends and draw actionable insights for the growth of the growth and set customer satisfaction. So let's just begin with our data. First of all, we imported the libraries, all the libraries, that is pandas, numpy, and all the other libraries that we are going to use in the uh, project. Secondly, we have got both our data, and we have named our data with the name of the restaurants and metadata with the restaurant data, and the reviews data as reviews. We have loaded both of them. So this is the first look of the data head of the data of the restaurant data. We have taken the first 5 rows. So here is name, link, cost, collection, cuisines, and timings. And this is the reviews data, in which we have restaurant, reviewer, review, what rating he or she has given, metadata, time, metadata, that means the followers he is having, and time and pictures. Let's count the rows and columns. So in the restaurant data, we have 105 rows and 6 columns. In reviews, we have 10,000 reviews and 7 columns. This is all the information, null values, and all in both the data set. The duplicate value we have in restaurant data, we have 0 duplicates value. In reviews, we have 36 duplicates. Now, moving forward, just a minute. Yeah, sorry for that. So here are the missing values in a restaurant data, that is collections of 54 missing values and timing has one missing value. In the review section, we have missing values in reviewer, review, rating, metadata, time. So these are all the missing values that we have find out in both the data set. Now visualizing the missing values. So in the restaurant data, we have created a heat map to visualize how many missing values are there. So we can see that in collections we have many missing values. In timings we have a missing value. This is the missing values of the review heat map. So from here, we just want to tell you about what is the total number of row. What we can see is the numerical columns, non-categorical columns. So in the restaurant data, we have the total number of cuisines. We found out just 44 cuisines are there. Just found out the total number of cuisines from that, and we are replacing the non-numerical values in the rating column with none. So if there is any non-numerical value in the ratings, for example, if someone has not given 1 2 3 4 5, then we are just replacing that with none. Now this is the index of the data, that column, restaurant data set, and this is the columns of the review data set. This is data dot describe. This is all this count of unique frequency. This is for the review data set. This is the variable descriptions. This is the total number of unique names, unique name. We just found the total number of unique things in the restaurant data set and the review data set. So this is all the unique restaurants, unique reviewers, unique review. This is all we get from the unique things. Now moving on to data wrangling, we just have to sort it out our data. So first of all, what we have to do is we have just sorted out our missing values. So for all the values that are uh, having none as their in the data set, we have just dropped them. So now we can see as all the missing values have been uh, dropped. So we have none of the missing values in our both data sets. Now we are just seeing the shape of the we have just dropping the duplicates for all the duplicates value. So now we were earlier having 105 uh, rows, now we have 104 rows, and here we are having 10,000 rows, now we are having 9,955 rows. Moving forward, yeah, so earlier we have 105 rows in the restaurant data set. Now we have 104. Earlier we have 10,000 rows in the reviews. Now we have 9,955 rows. So we will just now changing the cuisines from upper uh, letters to the lower letters. Now we are preparing a list of all the cuisines that we have. These are all the 44 cuisines list. Secondly, we just find out the cost of the restaurant by replacing the uh, sign by this. So we have just changed the type of the data from string to integer. Just describing the cost. Now we have created a table with name, cost, and cuisine list. Now we will do wrangling on reviews, just replacing the non-numbers with NaN. We are now creating a match data column with the regex solution with the total number of followers, this and this. We are putting regex over here. So we have now created a table with restaurant reviewer, review rating, and all. So this has all been done into the review data set. Now we will just go with the charts and understand the relationship between the variables. The first chart is the visualization code. We just imported the matplotlib at plt, and we have just created a restaurant cost distribution, that how much cost it is taking for the restaurant for making up a particular cuisine. So this chart why we have chosen this chart. So let us so in this chart we can just find out the water cost are there in the restaurant and how we are using it. Second chart, we are just moving on. We have created the top 10 cuisines in the top 10 cuisines in top 10 cuisine types in restaurants. For this we have just chosen this chart. Just a second. These are the insights of the chart, and just a minute. Yeah. So from here we can see that the North Indian is the most common type of the most ordered dishes. Chinese are the second, continental third, and so on. So from here we can find out the demand of the each cuisine in the restaurants. Next chart is the most common median cost by cuisine type. The median cost by each cuisine type. So as we can see, the Asians have the highest number of cost. Mediterranean the second low. Fast food have the least number of median cost. So from here we can see that Asian food makes takes the largest number of amount in preparation. Chart 4. Here we are having the 24 most affordable and expensive restaurants. 20 most the top 20 affordable and expensive restaurants we are having here. So from here we can see that the 20 from the bottom 20 we have the affordable ones, and from the top 20 we have the most expensive one. And as we can see, the Muhammadiya shawarma, as we can if we compare it with Kolaj, the Hayat Hyderabad Gachibowli, the difference is huge. The difference is huge. Next chart is the average rating by month, by what hotel is getting how much ratings every month, by the week, by the day. So we can get by which month our hotel is doing good, by restaurant is good, by which days our restaurant does good, by which hour of the day our restaurant does good. So we can just find out from here. Next chart is we can variation ratings with the cost. How much is the cost and how much the variations where ratings have been varied. So till here we have just completed our data wrangling. We have made charts to analyze. Now we are going to do the sentiment analysis. For that, yeah, Now, in the sentiment analysis, we have just defined a clean string named. So, in clean string, we use the regex, the sub, that we have just cleaned the string, reviews clean strings, this apply clean string. We have just created a sentiment for that so that we can create a function to get the sentiment and polarity. So, in that, we can see the review clean sentiment is over this. If the sentiment is over 5.5, then we are going having positive. Next, we are going to extract the noun for each review for the further analysis. Simply, we have just created all these and we have just found that cleaned review, the 0 for 0, 1 for the M was good. This is all the food entities. Now, we have to calculate the collective sentiment for each entity. So we can see that for ambience we have positive this, negative this, food this, positive this, negative this. For all this we have just find out the cumulative sentiment for each of the following. Now we have to just visualize this all this we have just find out. So we can see that the food is having the we just top sentiment positive, top positive sentiment, and paneer is the uh, least positive, or we can say the most negative sentiment food in the restaurant. Now moving forward, we will just find out the most negative sentiment, this and that, same as the above. Now, so the data pre-processing, we will create a multiply initializer. So in this we are just checking out all these things. Nextly, we are just finding the average ratings from the features GF. This is all the selected features. Now we are going to implement in the machine learning. The first, these are all the selected features we just got from here. Now we just import our libraries. We just took X as the standard scalar to transform, and cluster range is from 2 to 15. Now just we have to the code, we got the LBooker from here and we got the Sliote score from here. So the optimal number of clusters is just getting out at 14. Now we just created a dendrogram from this on the chart, and from scale and the cluster we just imported the agglomerative clustering. So from here we are just using the n number of clusters is equal to 7, and we just create the result. So this is all we get. Now we are grouping the cluster dot sum. This is all, and now we are using the heat maps. So we can use the heat map Asian Brani. We are just getting all the food, and this is the average cost by cluster. For each cluster, what is the average cost? We are using the scatter plot ratings to the average cost by the cluster, which is the average rating by the cluster. Which cluster is getting how much of the average rating? Now, just explaining this. The ML model used is k-means clustering. We are using the k-means clustering algorithm, and it is used for clustering the data points into the k cluster format. The performance of the k model can be evaluated using the two main matrices, inertia and the Celote score, as we have just found out in the above the charts. Inertia represent the sum of the square distances, and the samples of the cluster closest cluster center. If we have the lower initial inertia, that means there are the tighter clusters. If we have the higher inertia, that means they are the looser clusters. Slaughter score define the basically better define the clusters. So on the basis of the defined data, we can, however, we can slow down the k rate if the k decrease the rate of the decrease if the k increases. Slowtek score also increases with the number of clusters. If the Slowtek score is increases, that means the clusters are also increasing. So by analyzing both the metrics, we can determine the appropriate number of clusters that provide good balance between clustering and low clusters and high slaughter scores. So which evaluation matrix did we consider? We, for the positive business impact, We may include Silote score. The matrix indicates how well separated clusters are, because in a Silote score we can see that the clusters are very well defined and they are separated. So, and a higher Silote score says that the clusters are well defined and distinct. High Silote score means the clusters are well defined and distinct from each other. As well, while in inertia is a direct measure of the cluster quality. Low inertia means tighter clusters. Tighter cluster implies that the restaurant within the same cluster are more similar to each other than the in terms of cuisine and other features, which could lead to more accurate recommendation of the targeted promotions in the customer. So both of them have each their own benefits. So if we found out the conclusion, cluster one has a moderate cost and ratings and a higher ratio of the cost. The cluster has variety of cuisines. So we have conclusion of all the clusters. So if we have to just summarize the business cost, we can just say this: optimizing the food and place experience. How we can do that? Invest in the improving the quality of the ambience of the restaurant, focusing on the address of the high negative sentiment associated with the food place. Implement a detailed, just we have to focus on the how is the ambience looking, how is the place for the sitting, how is the food, the quality of food, the way we present it, so that we can just increase our chances of getting the more and more. We have to conduct the regular chess up to make the positive sentiments of the customers and experience the taste. uh, for example, if a customer likes selective cuisine in a particular restaurant, he doesn't want a better version of it, or he doesn't want a weaker version of it. He just want that uh, particular taste every time he visits. So we have to just concern get be concerned about the taste, that it remains the same, that the customer is always satisfied. So just focusing on these things, we can get our restaurant to work properly and increase our customer requirement. So encourage restaurant to diversify the cuisine of on the. So this is all we just got from this. So we can, if we look on these things, we can improve our customer satisfaction and our business growth. Thank you.